Let's define this path first by core principles of a right-to-rise society. Because once we do, the policies, the laws, and the way forward becomes a lot clearer. Let's start with the first principle. When it comes to ensuring opportunity and a chance at success, the most important factor is government. It's a committed family. Social scientists across the ideological spectrum agree on this. If you want to predict whether someone will graduate from school, go to college, and move forward in life, you just have to find out one thing. Were they raised in a loving household by two parents? If you didn't, you can overcome it, but it's really hard. If you did, you have a built-in advantage in life. The evidence is overwhelming. Every child has a greater chance at opportunity when they're raised by loving, caring, supportive parents and a committed family. This isn't the work of government, but it's critical that government leaders recognize that and support it. A second principle, and this one is often overlooked, growth above all. A growing economy, whether here in Detroit or throughout this country, is the difference between poverty and prosperity for millions. If you want to close the opportunity gap, grow the economy. This is the principle that concentrates the mind. If a law or a rule doesn't contribute to growth, why do it? If a law subtracts from growth, why are we discussing it? And for what it's worth, I don't think the United States should settle for anything less than 4% growth a year, which is about twice the current run rate estimated by most economists. At that rate, the middle class can thrive again. And in the coming months, I intend to detail how we can get there with a mix of smart policies and reforms to tap our resources and capacity to innovate, whether it's in energy, manufacturing, healthcare, or technology. Third, the right to rise depends on a government that makes it easier to work than not to work. That means fewer laws restricting the labor market and reducing the penalties that come with moving up from the lowest rungs of the ladder. Fourth, to address the income gap, let's close the opportunity gap. And that starts with doing everything we can to give every child from every neighborhood a great education. This won't happen overnight, trust me, I know. But it takes every tool we have, every tool. Accountability for teachers and school administrators, assessment for student learning, high rigorous standards, and school choice across the board. These are the key elements that make education work for more and more of our students, and we have the results to prove it. Finally, let's embrace reform everywhere, especially in our government. Let's start with the simple principle of who holds the power. I say give Washington less and give states and local governments more. We make multi-billion-dollar infrastructure decisions based on a labor law written in 1921. President Obama proposes making rules on the internet using laws written in the 1930s. We regulate global airlines using laws written for railroads. Our immigration laws were written a half a century ago. Government policy seems frozen, incapable, and fearful of change. It's in the way, to be honest with you, and we deserve better than this.